Are you sick and tired of missing putts on the low side? I know I am.
We're on the Fringe Golf. If you're new to the channel, we're here to provide some fun and entertaining golf content and hopefully make you a little bit better at golf.
Hopefully. So today's video, we're going to make you better at golf. We're going to give you 4 steps to reading greens so that you can make more putts. More putts, lower those scores. Who doesn't want lower scores?
And if you like the way that sounds, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if anything, you'll feel better about yourself watching us play and struggle. So hey, there's that too. So hit that subscribe button and we'll see you on the next video as well. All right, so tip number 1, identify the break. Justin, what does that mean?
Well, you want to identify which way the putt's going to go, right? Simple.
Okay.
Not so much. But hey, what you want to do is you want to get a little bit lower. Please don't pull the Camilo Villegas and get on the green. We don't want that. Just get low and naturally see where your eyes see. Walk the line and feel with your feet to see which way it's going.
Now, one thing I've always been told, Justin, is to kind of pretend that you're dumping a ton of water down onto the green and imagine where the water would flow when it hits the green. What are your thoughts on that?
Hey, that's an excellent tip. Maybe I should start carrying a bottle of water in my pocket, right?
I think that's illegal, but it's worth a shot. Yes. I've also heard you can kind of see the slope of the green complex around you to kind of give you an idea just from looking on your initial look.
You absolutely can. Your eyes does wonders, but you know what? They lie to you sometimes too. So use your feet to confirm it.
So tip number 2 is going to be identify the slope. What does that mean, Justin?
Well, is the putt uphill or is it downhill? Very simple. And this can be tricky. How many times have you looked at the putt from this side and you're like, oh, that's downhill. You go to the other side and you're like, wait, no, it's uphill. Kind of tricky, but I'm gonna give you some tips to figure that out.
Yeah, so when you look at the green complex as you're walking up, this is one thing I've always been told, as you're walking from your cart or if you're walking up to the green, kind of take a look, see what the green does. Is it sloping from back to front? Is it kind of running off? Is it going right to left? Kind of gives you an idea before you even get to the green what you're looking at.
Yes, and also the secret to that is to look beyond just your putting line. You want to look at the entire green complex and see what it's doing. The green is going to tell you exactly what it's doing. You just got to find it.
Yep, and one other note here is when you see a body of water, a lot of times that putt is going to run down towards that body of water.
Most of the time. And if you play in Vegas, it's always going to break towards the stratosphere.
Keep that in mind. All right, so tip number 3, let's talk about grain.
Number 3, grain. This is controversial. Some people say it affects the putt. Some people say it don't. I say listen to Tiger Woods. He talk about grain all the time, and this guy's the best. He's the GOAT. You got to listen to the GOAT, right?
That guy knows his putting for sure. Maybe not so much now as he used to be, but still he's putting out there. So one thing with grain to keep in mind is it depends on the grass type too, right?
Yes, and me personally, I don't have a lot of experience playing on different types of grasses. Bermuda, I know a lot of it. Poana out there in, say, California, not a lot about it. Poana's weeds to us out here.
Yeah, exactly. We're trying to get rid of the POA.
Yeah.
So the Bermuda has a ton of grain, and it really can affect your putts if you buy into that school of thought. You know, and Justin here clearly does.
I definitely do. So you want to look for the shiny part, okay? If it's shiny to you, that is down grain. And if it's that darker, it is into the grain, okay? The grain's going to affect the speed. And how many times have you missed a putt where it looks like it's on track and then all of a sudden, wham.
That's just the grain taking it and turning it.
That's right. The grain taking it and turning it. The ball's always going to want to go with the grain.
All right, so tip number 4, look at it from all angles. So what does that exactly mean, Justin?
360, okay? Because again, like I said earlier, a putt may look like it's going one way and then it does something else. How many times have you been like, man, if I would have looked at it from this side, I would have seen how far downhill it was? I'm guilty.
One thing with this is keep in mind pace of play, right? We're not on the PGA Tour. Well, we're not. Now, you may be. If you're watching our video, shout out to you. Come on one of our vlogs.
Yes.
But really, you want to just look at it from all around. We kind of talked about it walking up to the green, taking a look at what you're seeing. If there's any bodies of water nearby, see what the slope of the whole entire hole. That's something else that you could consider too, is when you're looking at the tee box, the entire hole slopes down at you and it's playing uphill. Well, chances are the ball on the green is going to continue to follow that trend.
100% chance.
Yeah. So keep that in mind. Don't just look at the green complex. Look at the whole as a whole 360.
Exactly. And hey, you know, that's kind of one of the most important things you could do. Don't let these superintendents trick you. Okay, you're better than that.
All right, so in conclusion, that's 4 easy tips to hopefully make some more putts, right? So number 1, just to recap, you want to look at the break. When you get up to the green, look at your putt. Does it go left? Does it go right? What do you see?
And number 2 was to look at the slope. Okay, is it going uphill? Is it going downhill? What's it doing? That's going to affect your speed.
Number 3 would be look at the grain. A little controversial. If you're new to the game, you may not fully understand it. We'll expand on it more in a later video, but you want to see, is it going to grab my ball, turn it left? Is it going straight into the grain and slow it down, or is it going down grain? It's going to be impossible to stop.
And of course, last but probably the most important, look at it as a whole. Take a 360 view without slowing up pace of play, and get a really good overall idea of what the putt's going to do.
Yep, and you know, these are 4 easy tips, whether you're a beginner to the game of golf or you've been playing it for years and you just haven't thought of all of these steps. It's good to remind yourself the fundamentals of the game to really hopefully make more putts in the lower scores.
I guarantee you, follow these 4 steps, you're going to make more putts.
Off the front, heading straight for the back, sitting pretty at 4 under, yes, I'm right on track. I'm on it, even after 17, ain't trying to give none back. Hit my tee shot to the left and now I'm